Right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, Brie Larson was reportedly disillusioned over the backlash and didn't want to reprise the role. Apparently, she thought twice about staying on as Carol Danvers following all of the backlash. Now, this is actually not a massive surprise, to be fair, because of what happened when Variety interviewed her, and she made that, at the time, which was a little bit out of character. She's like, well, does anyone want me? Should I come back? Does anyone want me? Does anyone care? That sort of, I don't know, just a very odd, bizarre behaviour, seemingly anyway. But now, obviously, contextually speaking, she was obviously battling in a, in a debate on whether she should return or not, which is interesting, I think, personally. It goes to show some level of self-awareness. Now, I'm not giving her an out on this. She said really dumb things, deserves to be held accountable, but very clearly what has happened since Captain Marvel and since she said those things, she has actually stepped back a lot, actually. And that's very clear to see in all of her actions, where she appears in things, what she says, how she handles herself. She's walked back a large portion of that behaviour. Now, I'm not going to say that that's her, fixed, done, dusted. I'd say that there's unequivocally a certain element of a mind virus still in there. But this could be bad advice from publicists, agents. You never know, ladies and gents. It's very difficult to tell, where these actors get this information from. And I think it's important to view actors a little bit like a child. They get handheld quite a lot on a lot of this stuff. It's not to say that they're not responsible for their own actions, though, FYI. But let's take a look, because this is fascinating stuff. So, Brie Larson obviously became a big target for, this article says, online abuse from toxic fans. It's not. She absolutely, unequivocally deserved a lot of that backlash due to her commentary around, I don't care what a white man thinks, all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just nonsense. It truly is nonsense. So, she received a whole bunch of pushback from that kind of commentary. And then obviously, the movie came out. People didn't really like her in the role. She's pretty wooden. She's a pretty wooden actress in general. So, it's very difficult to escape that. Rumours of the actress being somewhat difficult to work with, along with some new interview clips, largely exaggerated or taken out of context. I disagree. They did the rounds during the promotional tour of Avengers Endgame, made Larson public enemy number one, which is, again, it was pretty obvious, those Endgame interviews, how the star, it wasn't gelling, there wasn't much chemistry. It was really, really, really clear to see. Now we have this anyway. So apparently she brushed off Backlash before, saying I don't have time for it. In recently released MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios book, author Joanna Robinson indicates that apparently the Backlash did take its toll on Brie, who was reportedly being positioned to lead the MCU. I disagree with that. But they were, trying to push her as the new Trinity, I guess, of Marvel, whatever that means, quite frankly. But I also think that that's something that Kevin Feige said publicly, just to push Captain Marvel rather than actually have that be what they actually wanted to do. Because, it's very clear as day that's not come to fruition on any level, has it, ladies and gents? Now, we have these comments here. Apologies if you can hear lots of pitter-patter. It's dogs in the background. I'm away from home at the moment. Anyway, so here's what's stated in that new book. This is a unauthorized, behind-the-scenes look at Marvel. The future of those Marvel icons was unclear. The departure of franchise anchors like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson had already taken its toll. As hard as the shocking loss of Chadwick Boseman, but other MCU stalwarts were heading for the exits. Guardians of the Galaxy cast went on a farewell tour, and Brie Larson grew disillusioned, and Marvel tussled with Sony in a custody battle over Tom Holland. Now, that's in the book, but then Robinson goes further on the Watch podcast. Actually, basically said Larson doesn't want to play Carol Danvers anymore. So Marvel Studios put Brie Larson in a prominent place in the MCU. I don't know if Brie Larson was the wrong person for the role necessarily, But the toxic backlash means that Brie Larson doesn't want to play Carol Danvers anymore. Now, ladies and gents, I'm going to ask you now. I think she doesn't want to play that character for a few reasons. I honestly, I mean, that's a pretty big reveal. If she's done, with Marvel, that's a huge moneymaker gone for Brie Larson. Huge moneymaker. I would go out on a limb and say it's twofold. So I think it's to do with the backlash, right? I won't say it's toxic backlash. It's just backlash in general. What defines toxicity and backlash? It's an undefinable topic, isn't it? But I think it's to do with the backlash, but I also think it's to do with Marvel handling her character. Because we had heard, ladies and gents, that when she was on set of the Marvel shooting it, she was an absolute nightmare to work with. She was getting really angry with the fact that movie had been taken as her sequel and had now been given as an ensemble cast. So as a result of that, would you be annoyed? Would you be disillusioned? Yes. Would you see that element, of being removed from prominence in the role and in a sequel movie? Would you see that as, I guess a bit of a backstab from the studio? Absolutely. Unequivocally, actually, I think. And then, cue that interview. Does anyone want to see me anymore? Is she talking to the audience to try and get some boost from them, I guess? I don't know. She had a sequel taken from her, a $1 billion movie, reportedly. Who knows about that, whether that's legit or not. And now just an ensemble cast? Yeah, I'd be pissed. I wouldn't want to be playing that character anymore, would you? Doesn't want to play the Carol Danvers anymore. Yeah, she wants out of the role. She's done. She basically quits. So I can't imagine she's going to be around much longer now. I think she will be done, disillusioned, and wants to quit. Pretty fascinating stuff, actually. I think, anyway. And all thoroughly believable, because this is saying stuff that we'd already heard rumours about, that people had kept, going, no, it's not true. Yeah, I would say it probably is. So let me know what you think of this down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Honestly, fascinating stuff. So drop your thoughts down below. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Do follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at MrHReviews. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.